Today, we'll be talking to Kim Solomons, a Diversity Inclusion Ambassador, and Newmont's Regional Vice President in Human Resources, Amanda Baker. Hi Kim, thanks so much for joining us. Would you mind sharing your personal background and how you got to be in your current role in Newmont?
Yes, and thank you for having me. In terms of my personal background, I was born in South Africa, Cape Town. My family moved to New Zealand when I was 14 years old, so I finished school there. I did my university studies, and then I moved to Perth 10 years ago, almost 11. So that's a bit about my background, how I came into this role. So I started off doing my master's in organisational psychology, and I had this real curiosity around wellbeing in the workplace and really wanting to understand what are the factors that contribute to job satisfaction and motivation. So I actually looked at wellbeing in the workplace for prison officers, and that was where I thought my journey would go, and then I started in consulting. So that was an interesting part of my career and very varied work. Which really taught me around adaptability, relationship building, and really taking the time to get to know your people, right? So the opportunity at Newmont presented itself, and I was absolutely thrilled to put my hand up for that. So I started as the talent management specialist, and now I find myself in the superintendent role, and it's been an absolute pleasure to be in this position.
I understand your passion lies in diversity and inclusion. Can you share where this passion stems from and what drives you?
From a diversity perspective, I have lived in different countries, and it's been a fantastic experience to immerse myself in different cultures. I certainly know what it feels like to feel included, but I also have experienced what it feels like to feel less so. So for me, it was really important to help create a space where I can come to work and feel included, but also other people around me.
Can you tell us about the work culture at Newmont and what programs or initiatives you're doing to support women?
Yes, so we are a values-based organisation, and we really live by those values. So I can confidently say that the culture is a really positive one, and I do have opportunities where I get to speak to people on the shop floor in our operations, and it's often, really positive stories around good culture where relationships are strong, people enjoy the crews that they work in. But, there's also always room for improvement. And that's what the initiatives at our organisation are all about. So we've got a whole heap of different strategies that we implement to continue to foster a good workplace culture. And one of the initiatives that I'm quite proud of is our Women in Newmont program. So that's been going since 2014, and it's a development program designed specifically for our emerging talent. We collaborate with Australian Institute of Management for that. It's a 4-day course, and it's fantastic to see women go into these programs, learn so much about themselves, how to navigate the workplace, leadership opportunities, and then seeing them grow off the back of those initiatives is really positive. That's just one great example of how we're helping support culture. Our business resource groups, those are really integral for our core value of inclusion, and this is voluntary work that we have people in our organisation really doing some fantastic things to help promote an inclusive space where we celebrate all elements of diversity. And in terms of the role that I play is helping support them, ensure that there's a really good framework so that they can achieve what they set out to achieve. Certainly our graduate program, for example, we've got year-on-year new grads coming in, and that's important for us to continue to stay contemporary, and we've just had 10 new graduates start, 7 of which are female. So that's just another really good example of initiatives that we have to continue to move the dial and progress from a diversity perspective, and then lots of work happening in terms of creating an inclusive space.
We are thrilled to have you as the Diversity Inclusion Ambassador for this year's International Women's Day. Can you talk more about your role as an ambassador?
Yes, and I have to say it has been an absolute privilege to be the ambassador this year. I know there are fantastic women in our industry, so it's been an exciting journey. On reflection of that question, what it has done since we've started this with AusIMM is create lots of interesting conversation. So people have come up to me and asked me, what is that all about? And when we start talking about my role as an ambassador, but also the great work that AusIMM are doing to help create that sense of diversity and inclusion in industry has been really important, and it's gotten people curious, which I have quite enjoyed.
Thank you so much, Kim, for joining us today. It's been a pleasure speaking with you. We will now be joined by Amanda Baker and her expertise on psychological safety and the benefits of promoting a supportive work culture. Hi Amanda, thanks for joining us. Can you tell us a bit about your role here at Newmont?
I'm the Vice President for Australia and Human Resources.
Can you share with us your greatest achievements and what drives you?
So my greatest achievement would be being a mum. I have two boys. I have a 13 and a 7-year-old, and they drive me to be the best I can be every day for them and my family.
This year, AusIM are hosting a new diversity and inclusion workshop, focusing on fostering a psychological safe culture. Can you firstly tell us what is psychological safety and the need to prioritise it in our industry?
That's a great question because I think it means different things to different people. For me, psychological safety means that I can come to work and be myself and also feel free to speak up when I feel it's necessary. And not only feel free to speak up, but also to try and improve the culture that we have in our organisation. I really believe the need to prioritise it in our industry, along with a lot of other workplaces in the resources sector. It's become more and more apparent that we have these undesirable behaviours, and for those to be addressed, the way that we can do that is make it as safe as possible for people to speak up and make that change.
As an industry, how can we overcome workplace harassment and create a culture where everyone feels supported? What else do you think needs to be done?
So for everyone to feel supported, the tone from the top is really important. Our leaders are very, very committed to making sure that harassment is eliminated from Newmont. I think as a business, we've prioritised a number of initiatives. The first one is we have appointed a new team that look after a program of work, and that team currently for the last 12 months has been travelling around to our sites in different regions around the world, gathering data and insights to create programs that will support a safe, healthy and equitable workplace. We're starting with a new leadership development program which will be rolled out. Not only that, we are getting valuable data to see where our hotspots are so that we can address them. And I think having examples shared with our workforce, increasing that dialogue around when to speak up and what is actually harassment has helped immensely.
It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you today, Amanda. You have made some incredible points which make you realise the importance of promoting a culturally diverse workplace. If you want to champion diversity and inclusion in mining, then join us and celebrate AusIM's International Women's Day at a city near you.